I'm Raewyn from Cakes by Raewyn, and today I want to go through my method of lining a pan to bake a 4-inch tall cake. I'm usually pretty time poor, so I like to bake in one go where I can, and then just taught from there. I know in some countries you bake in 1 and 2 inch layers and put them all together. If you can, try this. It's really easy. You'll fill your oven and you'll get all your week's baking done in one go. These are my favourite pans. I've actually changed over all of my pans to this brand. They bake really evenly, really well. They're easy to handle because of the lip. Really good. Okay, so you'll need whatever size pan you're going to bake with, some baking paper. And in this case I'm baking an 8-inch cake, so I've got an 8-inch board to use as a template pen, a bread knife, not for what you're thinking that I'm going to use it for, some more baking paper, a heating core. Now you can use a flour nail. I just find this is actually specifically made as a heating core. They're just easier to clean, and you don't get, with the flour nail they've got a little sort of thread up here, so it can get a little gross. And you go through them a lot, whereas these you can use time and time again with no problem. Some bake even strips, some water, and some non-stick spray. Okay, as long as you don't use, you know, maybe an olive oil. Really, you can use anything you like. Okay, so first of all, we are going to draw our. This is for the lining base of our pan. Okay. Okay, so I've got my scissors now. It makes the job much easier than trying to shoot through the circle. So we just cut roughly around. This will line the bottom of your pan. Mud cakes are really great for being very forgiving with not sticking to your pans and things. So sometimes a lot of people don't line their pans, but I always do because I'm trying to get that extra height, and I don't want to have to then hack away at the base of my cake to make it even after, you know, some of it's stuck. Okay, so we'll just check that that fits in there, no problem, fits fine. Okay, so now the bread knife. I just get a piece of baking paper and I fold it in half, and I come along and just cut it nice and easily like that. Okay. And so there we have baking paper. You want to make sure that you've got at least 5 inches, because you want to bake it 4 inches tall. So that's 6 inches tall, so that's going to be just fine. So we get our non-stick spray. We're going to spray inside the pan, on the bottom, around the sides. Put our base in. Down at the edges so you don't get any cake leaking in under there. Now I always put my paper on the curve that it was around the roll, and put your cut side facing up, because of course that one's never going to be 100% accurate. And you just pop that in there, start from the centre, pushing it against your spray, it'll hold it in place. And then where you're going to overlap, just put a little bit of spray to make that stick. Okay. Now, if you've only got a little bit of an overlap like that, I recommend that you cut an extra piece of baking paper and save that, because you will use that again pretty quickly. Spray where it's going to go, because you don't want all the pressure of that cake as it rises above the pan to press on that join. So basically, if you're cutting your baking paper again, try and make it wider so that that overlap is nice and wide. So that's now nice and strong, okay? Or repair it like that, just put a little patch in, okay? So that's it so far. Then we'll get a little flour nail or heating core. Just pop it in the centre. Side, get your bake even strip. These are fantastic. I really like to make sure I only bake as little as I can. I want to do it once, I want to do it perfectly. I don't want to have to rebake, I don't want to have to patch and carry on. So by doing this, I also don't want to waste ingredients. So when I bake a cake, it comes out almost perfectly level. I don't get the dome that I've then got to cut off and waste. And all these little tricks go towards being able to do that. So I'm just soaking the strip in water. Okay, you can do this in your sink, obviously. Squeeze the excess out. Okay, and I've usually got it set for an 8-inch pan, so I'm just going to slide that on there. Okay, and that is now ready to have my mix. So I'll get my cake mix. So we've got a pan all ready to go. We've got our cake mix. I'm just going to pour that in. Now, because this is actually cake, not mud cake, I'm going to fill the pan about 3/4 full. If you were using mud cake, you would fill it almost really to the top, because mud cake doesn't rise anywhere near as much as, you know, regular cakes. So you really need to achieve the height with almost the height with the mixture. Whereas this, being a cake, will rise quite nicely. Okay, so that's now ready for the oven, and in about half an hour we'll have a lovely even cake, and I will show you at the end just how well all this stuff works. Okay, so here is our finished cake. As you can see, it's pretty level. There's not really too much operating to be done with that, and that is what you get if you use all your bake even strips and your heating cores. Okay, enjoy.